Good morning, folks, and welcome to another video of Luka Milosevic. And today we will be looking at and reviewing two of my custom planes, which are right in front of me. And one of them is a Cessna, and the other is a bit bigger, also kind of Cessna. And the smaller one, it took me about 15 minutes to make. And the bigger one, it took me for like an hour and a half. And they are both very small, not very small, but quite small. And they take up a lot of space for me because I have lots of things coming up in my future videos. And don't forget to subscribe and like the video, and comment below, do you like my video and what should I review next and what should I make. So without further ado, let's get into this. Okay, first we have the Cessna, which is very small. As you can see, its width and its length. It's quite small. And let me get over the outside first. So I have two small engines, which I found laying around in my box. I have 3 wheels as usual. The two at the back are simple, and I like how it turned out. I may change it a little bit, but the front wheel is a bit bent. I don't know if you can see that. And it does have a bit of a forward incline, like normal planes. The tail is quite high because it needs to be above the wings. And I did add this slope here so that it has a nice transition. Then I do have 2 blue lights here as indications. I have 2 lights back here also on the tail, a red and green. And now I have a grill piece here at the back to add some texture. And it has windows, the cockpit all around, so that he has a full 360 view. And I have flaps here at the back. If you don't know what it is, it's a little moving part which helps in decreasing speed and flying at low speeds. And they move down and back. And now inside, you just need to take off the wings. And there you go. So you have a small little seat with a bit of space behind him for maybe like luggage, and if you make it a bit bigger, it could fit 2 people, but I'm afraid it would be too big, so I'll see about that. And inside I have a console, which I'll show you right now. Oops, took his helmet off. There. If you can see, it's one of the old consoles, fairly straightforward, and it does have a joystick here. So that is it for this plane. I just added a bit like these 2 things, elements, just for some texture to make it look a bit different. And that's it for the Cessna. And now we will be moving on to the bigger one. I call it the big boy. So it's not really that big, but you get the point. So I have the, right, first of all, the tail is quite out of proportion. The tail is huge compared to the whole plane. So I'll have to change that once I find a new tail piece. And it is quite big here, if I can get it in frame. It's quite big. So let me start from the exterior and then I'll get into the interior. So first, gears. I have two back gears which just go front and back, two straightforward wheels. The front one has an indicator light, a red one, and it swivels around. And then these two white pieces here that I made it kind of thicker because some planes have a fuel tank underneath, so that represents a fuel tank. And then I have two propellers which spin, and they are quite close to the ground, but not too close. And the engines are quite tall, as you can see, and they are quite long. They stick out just a tiny bit. And I have some grill pieces up top for the ventilations. And I have the same thing on the other side. I also have two marker lights, red on this side and blue on this side because I couldn't find a green color. And yes, these air brakes which I made out of panels which I found, which go down and up to slow down the plane when it lands. And I added some texture, a sticker from one of the sets with like a trailer and a dune buggy kind of thing. I forgot what it's called. And those go down like so, and they flush in with the rest of the plane. The wings, they have some shape here. So it goes from thick to thin and to thinnest, the wingtip. And the wingtips are adjustable. They can go down straight and they can go, broke. Okay, and they can go straight up like that. Then on the top of the plane, I have this nice texture going on with white, black, gray, black, white, black, gray, black pattern all throughout, just to add some texture and feel and kind of give it some life. And as you can see, one thing, I didn't really go for one color. I just grabbed pieces that I needed just to put it like in the wings. They had blue, green, black, red, and all sorts of stuff. And then the tail is quite big, and that's a sticker from the DC-9 set, the tail. It's quite old set, and I just figured, why don't I use this piece? And then here I have two textured pieces, grill pieces, at the tip of the back wings, and they have some shape, and they are not that big, not that wide, but the tail, I better fix that. And I added a slope piece here. And so that's it for the outside. Oh yeah, and I have windows here from the DC-9 set and another waterplane set. And I have just this front part with no windows because there's the toilet. And this back part is the cargo compartment, which I'll show you right now, just after we get through the rest of the plane. So first we have the cockpit. It comes off everything, the plane, it comes off in sections. The roof just comes off so that you can get access inside it, like so. And that's just an individual piece, as you can see. So at the front we have the captain's compartment, the cockpit, and we have two control sticks, one probably for speed and the other for actual control of the plane. And because it's quite small, I couldn't fit too much because of the toilet and stuff, so I just had this computer from one of my police station sets, which is there. Just put it in there, even though it's not really into the subject of planes. And I added a little gauge down to the side next to his arm. And that's for the cockpit. I may just make it a bit bigger because it is very small. So now the toilet, which is way too small, I think. And as you can see, there's a white tile at the bottom representing the toilet. And then there's a grill piece, which you can slightly see, or there in the corner, which is supposed to be the sink. And that's the tap, the red block. And then we have this little yellow piece. It has like a black kind of lever thing sticking down, which is like the flush. And wait, let me just move this and get it from a top view. And then here you can see that, let me just open this. It has a door, you can see here, and it opens and closes just like that. And that's it for the toilet. Quite small, but very effective. Okay, let me just get this back. And now we are moving on to the passenger compartment, which has first at the front, we have a little bag in its kind of slot there, which is a 1x2 L-shaped piece. I don't really know the full name of it. And they're just for the front, like, business person, so that he doesn't have to be cramped with all his bags. And so I have 4 seats. Just in one of them I put a passenger so that you see the, like, scale of it. And I have a pattern going on in the floor. Red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, and so on. And also for the tables, blue, red, blue, red. And I just made a pattern because I didn't have enough of reds or enough of blues to fill out the whole floor. And that's it for the passenger area and the cargo back here. So just take off this back piece. And I have, so first, all of these little bags here, which are just a clip piece and a 1x1 cheese slope piece, used just to make a simple bag. And there, it's just a big old empty compartment with a door. Just a sec. It does have a door here. Just let me open it. Let me get a better view at this. There we go. If you can see that right there, that's the door open, and that's it closed. That's it open, and now it's closed. And that's it. And this red thing, if you're wondering what it is, it's just a like fridge. A fridge. I had 2 window pieces put together to make like a little opening. You can't see it here, but there is an opening, like a fridge to put stuff. And for example, you can take one of these mini bags, although it's not actual food, and put it in there. So that's it for the inside. And just to point out one thing, down here I did put lights here and at the front here as indicator lights for safety, of course. And that's it. See you again in another video of Luka Milosevic, and see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video.